Hello and welcome to Samadhi. Today is Thursday, June 7th, 2018.
Which Thursday was yesterday too.
No, you know what? I think I saw it and I did say Wednesday, but that's okay. Sometimes I say Wednesday and I mean Thursday, or Thursday and I mean Wednesday.
Yeah,
but
we
today
thought we
is
said
Thursday
yesterday, but
the important part is that it's June 7th.
yes.
June 7th. 7. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know. But anyway, here we are with
Sounds
the
like a
daily word.
monthly anniversary. Happy anniversary.
A year and 12 months.
A year and 2 months? Wow.
So, 14 months.
Yeah.
So.
That's incredible. And the year and 2 months, I mean, we've actually known each other for
4 years.
4 years. We've actually known each other 4 years, and it's been an incredible 4 years.
Thank you, sweetheart.
So let's breathe.
So let's breathe and bring the daily word.
Let's take a deep, cleansing, purifying, centering breath of awareness. Appreciating this moment and anything that is keeping us away, or that we are giving it a reason or an excuse or a place to confuse us, to convince us, to numb us to the truth of who we are. We let that go. And just sit in that space for a moment. Taking a deep breath in. All as one, ready to receive.
And
our beautiful mother is with us here in mind and in spirit. And we're just also blessed.
Yes, and for those of you, if this is the first time you see any of our videos, we mentioned, call her our mother, Michael's mother, my adopted mother, how I call her, but she's a mother to many. She keeps this family strong. She has a huge family, and I would just like to add that when I say the word, you know what I'm talking about. She's such a pillar in so many different ways, and we love to mention her because if it weren't for her, we wouldn't even be able to do these videos.
Exactly.
Or any of what we do. And soon she may be joining us on many little ventures because we've been convincing her to retire, so let's see if it'll stick. So, today's daily word is prosperity. And I'd like to say before I even read anything that, yes, we all need to prosper and take care of our immediate natural things that we need. But for me, there's nothing more prosperous than having the love of my family, or having the love and the companionship of my partner after these 14 months. And as we mentioned, Mom, having her blessing and her love and her open mind and heart is for me the most prosperous journey ever. And so here goes, prosperity.
Aside from the greatest prosperity.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about
yes, but
here.
I just desire to mention something. The greatest prosperity is to realize that you are with you.
Yes.
You are your best friend, and the source within you is aligning that friendship. The relationship with you and Source, Spirit, Creator, that's the greatest prosperity. Because everything else could not be without that fundamental, center.
And I apologize, everyone. I just took that as a given because that's what we say all the
that's
time.
what, yeah.
I just wanted to give credit to Mom.
But for new people that don't, if they heard this for the first time, you'll hear that repetitive with our videos, and we'll never get tired of saying it. All the glory, our success, our example of the greatness that we achieve and the greatness that we share is all of it for the glory of the One. Whatever you want to call that One, that's what it's the glory for. Is to remind humanity that we have this prosperous backup, this prosperous, intervening interface of spirit that is with us in every moment. And when we forget that, no matter how rich we become in the physical world, we are poor. The greatest prosperity is within. So.
And one more thing I would like to add as well. We lost a student.
Yes.
I want to say, I'm getting there, sweetheart. I'm using the layman's terms so that people can really comprehend, but we will never lose a student, obviously, because he remains in our hearts and in our most inner love of our heart. But we put to rest the body of one of our students today, and I would just like to add that prosperity of life, just enjoy life, just having life is being prosper. Just being able to breathe and use our lungs is having prosperity. So our love goes out to his family, and we're here to serve. So prosperity, the divine flow of abundance, meets my every need. Because I am the beloved image and the likeness of God, abundance flows from me as a spirit of generosity. Every good or authentic possibility comes into view as I connect with the flow of abundance. All avenues of expression are open for me to experience infinite prosperity. The universe is overflowing with all good or authentic things, infinite potential, expanding without limit. What this means for me right now is that I am not limited by circumstances. I use my creative energy and divine ideas to open new avenues of prosperity. Ooh, I'm repeating that one because I boast sometimes that I have a lot of creativity, but lately I don't know if it's been a little stagnant, but I'm working on it. So here we go again. I am not limited by circumstances. I use my creative energy and divine ideas to open new avenues of prosperity. My world is ordered and overflowing with all that I give and receive, in constant prayer and meditation and thanksgiving. Gratitude, yes. I live the prosperous and full life I am meant to live. And let me tell you that I do. I know that we're talking about prosperity out here and the money and the things that we could buy with the money and pay our bills, yes. But you know, so many people have all of that and they don't have life. They're just existing and or they don't have their health. Just like our dear friend, I'm sure he would have loved to share another 10, 15 years with us eating his beans and tortillas if that's all we had, you know? But the prosperity that comes from love, to me, and I'm only speaking for myself, is the most important. So in Malachi 3:10 it says, "See if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you an overflowing blessing." And we are blessed. Michael and I are beyond blessed. And I could go on with a list of our blessings, but I won't. I'll give Michael a chance to speak.
That's okay.
Go ahead, sweetheart.
Go ahead.
That was it?
Unless
you have the message.
I'm just feeling the abundance of spirit, and it's incredible.
It is.
I kind of highlighted a lot of it.
You know, when we do the daily word, we had said that we were going to not do it every day. We'd look at the word and maybe pick 3 of our favorite throughout the week. But we couldn't let this one pass by. And not
and we're going to select certain ones, so if it looks back to back, it's because those words are important.
That's okay. I'm sure if you don't like what you see, you can just turn it off. but we're going to be here as long as we're able to.
But even then, I'll say something to that. Even if you don't like what you hear, ask why you don't like what you hear. Because that's very important. It's easy to turn off the computer, the TV, whatever you're watching this on. It's so easy to turn it off and ignore it, but we are so accustomed to do that in life. And you can't run away from yourself. I can't run away from myself. That's why a long time ago I gave up from fighting. I just said, you know what? I'm going to have to do this. And I desire to share something, a blessing from beyond the grave. that He's here with us in spirit, that He worked on Himself so diligently prior to His transition, and that's one thing He was so grateful for. He was so thankful for. He said, you know what? I've let go of a lot of stuff that was holding me back, and what better achievement than working on yourself? What better investment than working on yourself and really discovering the unfoldment of who you are? That's the greatest blessing. Mm-hmm. So I desire to read some things, but some things stuck out, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But it says, you have a long history of ignoring my commands. You haven't done a thing I've told you. Return to me so I can return to you, says God of the angel armies, source, creator. But the reason why I wanted to read that is because we expect prosperity, but we're not willing to do what it takes. We're not willing to, and not just work in the physical, but work within the spiritual, work within the mental. It goes on to say, you ask, but how do we return? Begin by being honest. Do honest people rob God? But you rob me day after day. And that's what I mean, and I didn't even read this yet. But that's what our student, our alumni, did for himself. He didn't rob. His last days, he didn't rob. He gave. He gave back to himself and others. His example was such an inspiration. Because in such short time, I mean, it was like everybody said that knew him. It was like it wasn't him, it was somebody else. Because it was incredible, his transformation. So I just want to give him the respect on this day. And every day. With everything that I do, everything that we do, we honor his memory. And we honor his life because he's here. We honor his essence. We celebrate. The more that we achieve, the more celebration he will feel from us. And spirit feels from us. So it says, begin by being honest. The tithe and the offering, that's how. And now you're under a curse, the whole lot of you, because you're robbing me. Remember, tithe and offering is not just the physical. We tithe and we offer with our minds. What good does it do to give, let's just say, a $5,000 donation to a church or to an organization or to a cause, but it's just externally? What about the tithe and offering you give to yourself? And then that offering will be from a great intention. Remember, it says in the Bible as well that God sees our motivation, not beyond our action. God doesn't look so much as at the action, but the motivation. What is the motivation? The intention, the vibrational action, the vibrational essence behind what we do. Not behind, but before what we do. Remember the cause and effect. So, bring your full tithe to the temple treasury, so there will be ample provisions in my temple. Test me in this and see if I don't open up heaven itself to you and pour out blessings beyond your wildest dreams. So that's why I wanted to read that, because it's so easy to read the good part. See if I will not open the windows of heaven for you and pour down for you an overflowing blessing. But why? But I felt like it's important there's a requirement for that. We're not just given blessings. The requirement for the blessings is honesty. And I'm going to tell you something. We may not have the physical blessings, but they're coming. They're here. But we have the spiritual and the mental blessings. Because when I put my head on the pillow at night, my conscience is clear. And I'm not judging anyone by saying that. But if your conscience isn't clear, then really, do an introspection of yourself. Do a reflection of why you can't sleep. Why you can't relax. Why you can't just be you. For my part, I will defend you against marauders, protect your wheat fields and vegetable gardens against plunderers. The message of God of the angel armies, and this last part I wanted to touch on. You'll be voted happiest nation. Remember the nation, the temple. Not just a country. We expect, and I'll say this when I'm done. You'll be voted happiest nation. You'll experience what it's like to be a country of grace. God of the angel army says so. We say that we're upset because God has been taken out of the school system. That God has been taken out of different organizations and even sometimes churches. But what about within ourselves? Have we forgot the blessings and the abundance and the greatness of God within ourselves if we look at the cells of our very being? But we don't reflect on those things because we forget. Remember who you are. Remember where you come from. And you'll experience blessings beyond your prosperity, beyond your wildest imaginations. And I'm going to make a declaration on this video that I was holding myself back from the blessings. But no more. I was judging myself. As a teacher, I take full responsibility. I was holding myself back from the blessings and the greatness of what Spirit was just waiting to reveal, waiting to give. But I would let this sometimes get in the way. And even a small seed can reap a huge harvest in the mind. Check even the smallest of seeds that you plant of guilt, of doubt, of frustration, of stress, of judgment, of jealousy, of anger, of sadness, of powerlessness, unworthiness. Check those seeds and transform them. Because the blessings are all around us. And gratitude, appreciate the small things so you can truly experience the great things. That's all.
So thank you, everyone, and remember to take with you the word prosperity and meditate on that today. The divine flow of abundance meets my every need. So every need is not just the physical need. So remember to spend time with your inner self.
Yes. And remember,
blessings.
Sign up for our classes. Sign up for our classes. Sign up for our classes. Because as a teacher, I'm not what people's idea of perfect is. Neither is Alice. But we are remembering our perfection and aligning with that perfection every day. Because in that alignment, we are perfect. It's when we forget who we are, then we let the idea of imperfection cause us to forget who we are. Remember who you are. Subscribe to these videos to get the latest and greatest from Samadhi. Inspired and moved for the glory of Spirit. And sign up for our classes so you can experience and enjoy the unfoldment of who you truly are. Thank you, everyone. Blessings.